I, Professor B.K. Jain, Dean MBA, Byani Institute of Science and Management of Byani Group of Colleges, welcomes you in this video lecture series on the subject Management of Financial Services of MBA 3rd Sem. Today is the 5th lecture in the series of the lecture on this subject, and the topic devoted for today is central banking, country's central banking, that is Reserve Bank of India. To start with, I would like to very briefly tell about the establishment and organization of Reserve Bank of India. The Reserve Bank of India was established under RBI Act 1934, and it was made applicable with effect from 1st April 1935. This bank was nationalized in 1949, and nationalization means it became a fully owned government bank of country's central government, that is Government of India, and it is managed by a board of directors, which is also known as central board. Then it has local boards, and then it is headed by the governor and assisted by 4 deputy governors. In the central board, there are 15 directors. All are appointed by Government of India. Then there are local boards in all 4 metro cities, and in these local boards there are 5 directors. All these 5 directors are appointed by Government of India. Now it has in all 27 branches. We have also 1 branch in our city, Jaipur, and it has in all 13 departments which are managing its various functions. This is in very brief about the organization and establishment of the Reserve Bank of India. Now, the Reserve Bank of India is popularly known as government bank, bankers bank, and lender of last resort. I would first of all explain what exactly we mean by government bank. In fact, Reserve Bank of India acts as an agent of Government of India, as a banker of Government of India, as well as advisor to the government, and as advisor it conducts or it organizes a bi-monthly review of the entire country's economy, and based on this review, Reserve Bank of India takes policy decisions, and the policy decisions include change in key rates, and the changes in key rates and the rates in which changes are made, these are known as bank rate, repo rate, reverse repo rate, CRR, SLR, etc. By changing these rates, it exercises control on the monetary policy of the country. It also acts as banker to the government. Banker to the government means that it accepts deposits of government institutions, and then it also acts an agent of government, and as an agent of government, it undertakes agreements and contracts with international organizations. It also acts as an advisor to the government as and when major policy decisions pertaining to finance and monetary policy, it acts as an advisor to the government. It attends all meetings of the Ministry of Finance where financing matters or financial issues are being discussed. It is also a banker's bank, and as a banker's bank, I would like to explain that it accepts deposits from all banks. It provides loans to all banking institutions, and as you all are maybe aware that it also maintains cash reserve ratio under Section 42 of Reserve Bank of India Act. As you may be aware, all the commercial banks are required to maintain CRR, that is cash reserve ratio, with Reserve Bank of India. It ranges between 3 to 15%. Presently it is 4%, and this 4% is required to be maintained statutorily by all commercial banks with Reserve Bank of India, and Reserve Bank of India does not pay any interest on that. it also provides loans to different types of institutions, banks, on repo rate and maximum standing facility, etc. Whenever a bank needs loan, it ultimately provided by the Reserve Bank of India. It also accepts deposits of commercial banks. Under reverse repo rate, it accepts surplus money of commercial banks at the reverse repo rate, and presently this reverse repo rate is 5.75%. Lastly, Reserve Bank of India is also very popular to be known as lender of last resort. And lender of last resort means that it provides finally money to all those who need money from Reserve Bank of India, that is banks, central government as well as state government. You may be aware that RBI loan is there on all state governments and even on central government. Whenever government needs money, it is in deficit, that is, its expenditure are more than its income, it always look at the RBI to provide help, and hence all state governments are heavily indebted to country's central bank, that is Reserve Bank of India. It also provides money to banks as and when bank requires money. Now I would come to the key functions which are performed by the Reserve Bank of India. These key functions can be divided into three parts, and these three parts are, some are monopoly functions, some are promotional functions, and some are regulatory functions. Let me discuss first the monopoly functions. The first very important, very crucial monopoly function of Reserve Bank of India, it issues currency notes. As you may be aware, that all currency notes except rupee 1 are issued by Reserve Bank of India, that rupees 2, rupee 5 note, then 10, 20, 50, 100, 500 and 1000 rupees. Earlier Reserve Bank of India used to issue note of 10,000 rupees, but ultimately its circulation was closed to have a control on black money. So now only these notes are being issued by Reserve Bank of India. While issuing these notes, Reserve Bank of India is also required to maintain some reserve in the form of gold or foreign exchange, and against that Reserve Bank of India issue currency note. Now in some cases, when old torn out notes are accumulated with Reserve Bank of India, it is also issues currency against these old torn out notes. Now when this currency is issued, you might have seen any note against or in the note itself there are signature of Governor Reserve Bank of India, and above the signatures Governor Reserve Bank of India promises to pay on demand the sum equivalent to the amount mentioned in the note to the bearer of the note holder. Now 1 rupee note is not issued by Reserve Bank of India, it is issued by Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and Secretary Finance signs over this note. Now second important function of monopoly function of Reserve Bank of India is distribution of coins. Coins are not minted by Reserve Bank of India, they are minted at government mints, and these mints are at 4 or 5 places where these currencies are minted. But the monopoly function of Reserve Bank of India is to arrange its distribution, because the coins are also required by, particularly in the retail market sector, they need coins of rupee 1, then rupee 2 and rupee 5, 10, etc., etc. So these coins are issued by Reserve Bank of India. Whenever a person needs coins or a retailer needs coins, it can go to RBI and then get these coins in the whatever denomination of coins the retailer or the person when to RBI is interested. Now the next important function of Reserve Bank of India is dealing with foreign exchange. Foreign exchange is one crucial aspect on which Reserve Bank of India has monopoly. All foreign exchange transactions are made with the prior approval of Reserve Bank of India. It also maintains reserve with it, and out of that reserve it provides money in the form of foreign exchange to those who need money. Now, all commercial banks are not authorized to deal in commercial banks. Only few commercial banks which have taken permission from Reserve Bank of India, they are authorized to deal in foreign exchange. Some private parties which have been permitted by Reserve Bank of India, they also deal in foreign exchange. Another monopoly function of the Reserve Bank of India is its clearing housing operation. You may be knowing that commercial banks are very much engaged in the clearing of checks deposited to them by their customers. Once the checks are deposited by the customers for crediting into the customer's account, and all banks are required to maintain clearing house account with Reserve Bank of India. In fact, this clearing house work is always done by the Reserve Bank of India, and where the branches of Reserve Bank of India are not there, this clearing house work is done by another important public sector bank, that is State Bank of India. And where the State Bank of India branch is not there, then subsidiary banks of State Bank of India are doing this clearing house operations. That is, there are 4-5 subsidiaries of State Bank of India, such as SBBJ, State Bank of Bikaner in Jaipur, State Bank of Patiala, State Bank of Mysore, State Bank of Hyderabad, State Bank of Travancore and Cochin. So, firstly, RBI undertakes this clearing house as a monopoly function. Then, if RBI is not there in any particular city, it is the duty of the State Bank of India, and where there are no branches of State Bank of India, its 5 subsidiaries undertake this clearing business. So these are 4 very crucial, important monopoly functions. I once again repeat: issuing currency notes, distribution of coins, dealing with foreign exchange, and clearing house operations. Now I come to another important type of function of Reserve Bank of India, that is promotional functions. As the word indicates, through this function, Reserve Bank of India promotes orderly growth of banking sector in country. Now, first of all, Reserve Bank of India has created many institutions which are supporting India economic development. These institutions are, for example, National Housing Bank. It is a subsidiary of Reserve Bank of India, especially created for developing housing sector. As earlier also I mentioned, Prime Minister Modi has announced a scheme that housing for all by 2022 on attending 75 years of our attendance, so 75 years of our independence. Hence, this bank has been especially created to promote and financing housing sector so that shortage of housing institution in the country could be overcome. Another institution, very important institution created by Reserve Bank of India is DICGC. It is an institution created for providing deposit insurance cover to the customers. When a customer keeps its money with commercial banks, it is automatically insured with Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation, and it ultimately ensures and gives guarantee that if a particular bank fails, this corporation would make payment to the deposit holder. So insurance cover through this institution is provided by the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation, which is a subsidiary of Reserve Bank of India. Another important promotional function is that Reserve Bank of India collects statistics of the entire all sectors of the economy, compiles it, analyzes it, and present the statistics to the country's government, central government, and based on that statistics, central government is normally taking decisions which are for the development of the entire population of the country. Now, another important promotional function is that it provides education and training. Now, free training facilities are also provided by the training centers which are being managed by Reserve Bank of India. And in these training centers, the officers of not only commercial banks, cooperative banks, and RRBs go there and get free of cost training to improve their overall efficiency. It also undertakes education programs. It also undertakes awareness program in general public so that public comes to know what are the duties, responsibilities and powers and the role of Reserve Bank of India in the context of country's economic development. It also ensures orderly growth of banking sector. Orderly growth of banking sector means It provides permission to open more and more banks and branches in those areas where banks are not working, where the number of banks is less, and it also ensures that remote areas are covered by banking institutions. More and more branches are opened in the rural area, so it ensures balanced growth by opening branches in the remote as well as rural areas. Now finally, Reserve Bank of India provides money. It promotes the development of agriculture, it promotes development of industries, it promotes development of infrastructure, so that country's entire economy could be developed in the way the government has planned. Now it has a particularly special role in the development of agriculture, for which at the initiative of Reserve Bank of India, NABARD was created in 1982, and NABARD as a development bank has taken the entire responsibility of developing agriculture and rural development. In the similar way, many national level institutions has been created which are looking after the interest of agriculture industry as well as infrastructure. Thank you, and thank you.